Today, I am going to be ranking what is, in my opinion, the top 5 best Xbox 360 avatar games, or games where you play as your 360 avatar. Now please note, I haven't played every single avatar game, as there are quite a few, but coming in at the bottom number 5 spot, I place Joyride Turbo. Developed by Big Park and published by Microsoft in 2012, this is a pretty fun kart racer. And that's coming from a guy who isn't big into racing games. Now, this title is pretty short, as you can complete all of the cups, or series if you prefer, in under 2 hours with relative ease, and there are 3 series in total, 100, 200, and 300 HP, with each being tougher than the previous, and the cups all require different vehicle types. That said, Joyride Turbo offers 15 rides in total, with a couple unlocked right off the bat. But if you want to unlock a new set of wheels, you're gonna have to hunt down car parts, which are randomly scattered around the races. And once you've found all 3 parts to a car, you can then purchase it using money, earned by collecting loose coins in the stunt parks, winning races, and by picking up blue coins on racetracks. You can also unlock vehicle variants, and pay to change their color. Now, what is that stunt park, which I just mentioned? Well, there are 2, and they're free roam areas where you can just explore and hunt down coins, car parts, and trophies, which don't really do anything, and these are fun areas to waste some time in. As for the other game modes, there's a time trial mode, single races, and multiplayer, which is playable locally and online. My Game Pass is currently expired, but last I checked, it wasn't too hard to find racers online, largely thanks to this game being backwards compatible and often getting deep discounts. Anyways, getting a bit more into gameplay, like all kart racers, there are power-up boxes that you can use, which hold things like rockets, boost power-ups, shields, and more. And of course, Joyride Turbo has a drift and nitro boost system. Obviously, you can drift to earn some nitro, but sometimes you'll be airborne after jumping a ramp, and you can flip your car around and do cool tricks to earn some boosts that way. Graphically, I love this game's cartoonish look, and the soundtrack is pretty solid. Also, this title runs well performance-wise. And yeah, Joyride Turbo, my 5th favorite 360 avatar game. Now I should note that this game is actually a sequel to Kinect Joyride, which is just okay, but it didn't make my list despite also being a avatar game. And finally, this title did come with some cool avatar awards, so a nice little bonus for buying this game. Alrighty, time to move on to the number 4 spot. Smashing its way to the number 4 spot, Kinect Sports, which is a surprisingly fun and solid sports game, developed by Rare and published by Microsoft in 2010 to combat Nintendo's Wii Sports. And while this is a obvious knockoff Trend Tracer game, it's actually pretty good. This title consists of 6 main event sports, and ranking them from my favorite to least favorite, they are bowling, ping pong, soccer, volleyball, boxing, and track and field, and they're all pretty simple to play and mostly self-explanatory. With the exception of soccer, all the games play as if you were playing them in real life, e.g. throwing punches and blocking in boxing, or doing a bowling motion to bowl, and while the controls weren't perfect, they were overall pretty good, especially when compared to Ubisoft's Wii Sport knockoff Motion Sports. Anyways, I said that soccer was the odd one out control-wise. I honestly expected this to be a disaster, but it worked out pretty well, as all you really need to do is kick the ball, or step in front of it to block it, and you'll also have to play as the goalie if the ball reaches your end of the field, and when this happens, you're given prompts as to where you need to move your body to block the ball. That's a rough, but pretty good explanation of the controls, and the game does all the running for you, which was where I thought that this game would be a fiasco, but no, it actually worked out pretty well, and it was quite fun in my opinion, and all 6 games have 4 difficulty options to choose from. Now, apart from the main events, you also had mini-games, which would be things like a mini-game where you could go ham throwing bowling balls down a lane to knock over as many pins as possible in a short period of time, or a soccer goalie mini-game where all you did was block soccer balls, just stuff like that. And for the main events and the mini-games, you earn XP for playing these games, and winning grants you more XP than losing. Now, leveling up doesn't do anything in-game, but for every 10 levels, you get an avatar award, which was a nice bonus. I also really appreciate how this is an avatar game. Back to the gameplay, a lot of games have local multiplayer features, and there's also a multiplayer-only mode which is called Party Games, which is a competitive mode to see who can earn the most points from winning various events, and I enjoyed playing it with my wife. Graphically, this title nails its cartoonish look, and the OST, sound effects, and the VAs were actually pretty decent. Performance-wise, outside of iffy controls, Kinect Sports largely ran well, and it is my 4th favorite Avatar game. Stealing its way to the number 3 spot on today's list, Uno. Developed by Carbonated Games and published by Microsoft, this is a classic XBLA title, and I want to say this was the first Avatar game that I ever played, thanks to the XBLA compilation Disc 1. Now, do I really need to do a deep dive explaining how Uno works? Chances are, most, if not all of y'all watching, have played this classic card game. But in a nutshell, the game is about trying to be the first person to get rid of all your cards, and you do this by playing matching cards based off their color or number, while also using special cards, such as one that makes the next player lose their turn. Not much to it, although the 360 version did throw in a couple of curveballs. For one, in this version, it's not about who wins a match first, but who is the first person to earn 250 points and to lose their cards first, and points are tallied up based off of the cards that you play. And there is also a team mode, which is the same as the normal mode, but it's a 2v2 game versus a free-for-all. Now, for the avatar part of this game, you can either play as your avatar, or have the game set to display your gamer pick. The choice is yours, but I prefer using my avatar, and that is the bulk of Uno. This title does have online play, but I never used it. Although, this game does have online leaderboards, which are still active, and apparently, you could at one point buy variant card packs, something that I never did. Finally, this title does have a house rules option, and quite a few laid-back achievements. The game looks pretty good graphically, with great sound effects, and a pretty chill laid-back OST, and it is currently my 3rd favorite 360 Avatar game. Not something to play all day, but nice for when I just want to chill for 10 to 15 minutes. Slamming its way to the number 2 spot on today's list, Fire Pro Wrestling. Developed by Spike Chunsoft and published by Microsoft in 2012. This is an enjoyable experience, even if you're not big into wrestling games, as is the case with me personally. This game doesn't have much story-wise, and it largely focuses on just wrestling and building the best wrestler possible, as this game has a very in-depth progression system, giving you skill points when you level up, which can be distributed among 6 abilities, or skills, if you will, being power, affecting how much damage that you deal with your attacks, stamina, technique, speed, luck, and toughness. And some moves are locked behind stat levels, and you earn XP by fighting various foes, spread out across 54 matches in 3 main modes. And while you earn a little bit of XP from losing, the big XP payday obviously comes from winning. You can also learn new moves and acquire clothes unlocks by winning matches and by wrestling opponents for the first time. In addition to XP, you also earn money from matches, which can be used to buy cosmetics, like a new pair of pants or some gloves. but I didn't really mess with these as I am quite happy with my avatar outfits as is, although it was nice to have some in-game clothing options. A bit more about the main single-player game modes. You have Casual, Champion, and Underground, with Casual being the easiest of these, and every mode has 18 matches for a total of 54 matches, which is followed by a final boss battle, which, according to achievements, not many people actually beat. In addition to holding single-player modes, this game also has local versus matches, in which you cannot earn XP, and also online MP, and the servers are still up, just empty. I checked several times when my Game Pass was active, and no one really seems to be playing this game anymore. But at least my wife and I had some fun playing together on Couch MP. There's also a tutorial mode, and occasionally minigames are tossed in after a match, which offer a chance to earn some bonus XP. I believe these are random in when they happen, but one is where you try to break out of a pinfall in as close to 3 seconds as possible, and another quick time-ish minigame where you and your opponent exchange blows to try to knock each other out. And apparently there is also a third minigame, but I never got it once in my entire game, so no comment there. Graphically, the game looks good for what it is, with many cool arenas to wrestle in, with avatars watching matches in the background, which really adds some personality to this game if you ask me. The soundtrack is pretty solid, with good sound effects, and this is my second favorite 360 Avatar game. Now, as a couple side notes. 1. It is sadly now impossible to get all of the achievements unless you purchase the now delisted DLC before the store closed, which I didn't sadly, but given the chance I would buy it. And 2. This game came with 2 gamer picks and 3 avatar awards, 2 of which I got, so some nice little bonuses. And yeah, Fire Pro Wrestling. That is all from me in regards to that game. On to the next and final game on my list, taking the first place ribbon, Doritos Crash Course. Developed by Behavior Interactive and published by Microsoft in 2010 to promote some of the best chips ever, this free XBLA title is a blast. Gameplay-wise, this is a 2D side-scrolling platformer, which is pretty clearly inspired by shows like American Ninja Warrior and Wipeout. And while there actually is a Wipeout game on the 360, I've heard it's pretty bad and that Doritos is much better. Anyways, the goal of this game is very simple. Go from the left to the right until the game tells you to stop in the quickest time possible, while also avoiding obstacles. And this game is what a game should be. Simple, but not too easy, as you'll have to do things like time jumps to not miss platforms, dodge hammers, paintballs, and more. Now, this title is pretty short once you get the hang of it, but Doritos is 100% free to download and play. And while this title does have a DLC expansion pack, I'll mostly just be looking at the base game. The base game has 15 levels in total, spread out across 3 environments: America, Europe, and Japan, with Japan having an easy mode, and you win medals based off how quickly you complete a level. And this title has online leaderboards that are quite active in 2026. The controls are very simple, and this game is quite easy to pick up and learn. Plus, Doritos offers local and online MP, and last I checked, the online servers were pretty active and it was very common to find people playing. And this is another BC title, which probably is the reason that it's so alive. It's free, and it's backwards compatible, so quite a few players. Graphically, I love this game's cartoonish look. The soundtrack is quite amazing as well. The game mostly runs well, but every now and then it would glitch out and give me some random avatar instead of my actual one. Not a massive issue, but something noteworthy. Also, this title contains 2 unlockable gamer picks, and the $2 DLC pack comes with 2 avatar awards. Usually, I don't like DLCs, but here I make an exception because the base game is free and the DLC is 100% worth picking up. And yeah, Doritos Crash Course, my favorite 360 Avatar game. Now, this title did get a free sequel, but it was delisted and online only, with the servers being shut down, meaning it is unobtainable and unplayable. Shame, as I would have liked to try it. Oh well. And that is my top 5 Xbox 360 Avatar games. Tell me down in the comments what you think of my rating and what your top 5 would be. Man, this video really makes me wish that Xbox would reopen the 360 store, because you can still browse the store, but you just can't buy or download anything, and there are several items that I wish I'd grabbed, but it's just too late now. And working on this vid unlocked some memories of getting my first Avatar awards, being the Deathstroke costume from Arkham Origins, the robot companion from Halo Waypoint, and I believe a hat from Portal 2, although I'm kinda fuzzy on that one. Good times, yo. Anywho, for those new here, I mostly review and discuss Xbox 360 games, so feel free to sub if that sounds interesting, and follow me on GameRam for behind the scenes stuff. Also, thanks a lot for putting up with my bad voice, it really means a lot. As for our Bible verse of the day, I read Romans 2:11 NIV, "For God does not show favoritism." And like always, none of my content is made by robots. Keep YouTube human, and I never consent for my voice and likeness to be copied and altered by robots in any way. God bless, take care, keep the 360 alive, peace. Graphically, I love this game's